Today's show is sponsored by Expressvpn. Reduce your ping time and get faster speeds when you game at expressvpn.com/funhaus.
Welcome to the Funhaus podcast.
Hey.
I'm Patrick. Joining me today are, of course, Elise Willems.
Hey, Patrick. Thanks so much for having me.
Thank
It's
you.
a delight to be here. I'm excited to hear what we're going to talk about today.
Well, it was your turn. You know, you're getting called up. And also, Charlotte is here.
Elise, have you ever seen the fear of God in a man's eyes because his ad copy didn't appear on screen, but he was full of on the broadcast? I'm scared.
I will say that is definitely something, a treat that the VOD audience will be missing because they won't have that at the top of it, I believe.
Okay.
But we can describe it for you. That
that.
ExpressVPN lower third didn't come up, and Patrick panicked.
I lost it. You could see me melt.
I feel like he ran away from his own eyes, like internally.
I guess so.
Hi, everybody. Great to be here.
All right,
we got a good show. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. We got a good show today. That's right. Just the all-stars.
I'm joined by Patrick
Funhaus
and Elise.
today.
We got a great show today.
We do have huge news to address right off the bat. This is world-shaking shit. Cody, I don't know if you want to show it yet, but a man did find some shrimp tails
Slow
in
down.
a CTC in a Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
I like Patrick. You pulled no punches. There was no introductory buffer period to this podcast. How's everybody doing? What's everybody doing? What's happening this week?
Look,
you immediately went to the shrimp tail in the cereal.
so
All right, enough with the niceties. Let's see the shrimp tails.
I know the two of you. We had a meeting yesterday. I don't need to know what happened today. You know, because what could possibly be different? Maybe you ate something a little different for breakfast. Maybe, you know what I mean? I'm thinking it's cheating the audience to make them go through that with us. And what the audience really wants is shrimp. It's shrimp.
What they really
But
want
fine,
is shrimp.
I'll do it. How are you
shrimp.
doing? How are both of you doing?
You can't put this in front of us and then pull the rug out.
For the audience that might tune in for gaming or pop culture news, this isn't the exclusive discussion of the hour to 90 minutes.
Yeah, we have some gaming stuff as well. Don't worry.
Okay, but we led with the top story,
the hot story. Yeah.
You know, life is kind of truly the greatest game.
What?
I'm just
like the board
bringing
game?
it all back together. The most dangerous board game.
Oh,
say
now we're
bork
talking my
game?
language. Bork.
I have a question about the shrimp tails and what seems to be Cinnamon Toast Crunch. For the audience listening in audio only, a lot of notes to the audience because we care about you. They also seem to be coated in cinnamon sugar, right?
Oh yeah,
that's part of it.
So what's the problem?
Patrick, you want to walk us through just the
yes,
stunning turn of events that has transpired over the last 48 hours?
24? Yeah. So around Monday, on Monday, I believe, someone who they referred to as a comedian, I've never heard of him, by the name of Jensen Karp.
Oh, yeah.
Which I assume is an alias or a fake name, because that's a fish.
Whoever he is, he loves a good bowl of cereal.
Yes. So he goes, his morning routine, he goes to the kitchen. What does he go for? He goes for the milk, regular milk. He doesn't like oat milk. I'm saying I don't know what gents, I don't actually know.
Oh, yeah.
No, you're right. He's
okay.
He's got a bit of a music career. He signed to Ice-T's Rhyme Syndicate at 11 years old.
Really?
Yeah. And his music was in NBA Live 2003.
Do you ever hear something like that and you instantly think that should have been me?
I thought that about the shrimp in the cereal, but not about being signed at 11 years old to Ice-T's Rhyme Syndicate. But I do know how you feel.
Yeah. I get that. Like, especially now at my age, everybody famous is 10 years younger than me.
Uh-huh.
And there's a point when you're like in your early 20s where you realize like, oh, this mega star is my age. And it feels really weird because you're working at Costco.
Lady Gaga and I are the same age, and we have been for years.
Yeah.
And shall be.
And shall continue to do
in
so.
perpetuity.
But
So
now
yeah, he goes into his kitchen, and maybe he's thinking, oh, maybe I'll practice my tight five while I enjoy some cereal. But that doesn't happen.
he's riffing probably as he walks over there. He's always
His
on.
family leaves the room. He walks in and he's like, what's the deal with almond milk?
So he pours out his bowl of Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and what does he find inside? It's not a prize. It's not a toy. It's
They
even
put those
better.
outside the bag.
There it is. It's shrimp
They're
tails.
coming in.
It's just shrimp tails.
Tails.
They look like candied pecans.
And he went back and forth with General Mills on Twitter a bunch. So I can kind of read some of the tweets.
Please.
So he posted it and said, "Why are there shrimp tails in my cereal? Parentheses, this is not a bit."
That's a Canadian word.
Yeah. The Cinnamon Toast Crunch account said, "We're sorry to see what you found. We would like to report this to our quality team and replace the box. Can you please send us a DM to collect more details? Thanks." They do look like shrimp tails.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, they
everyone's-
are.
Every once in a while you get a weird
Two ruffles that are stuck together.
yeah, they're stuck together. You get like a mass of kind of like dough or something in there, but
You get
that's
like a full roach in your
So
Cliff
what
bar.
happened next?
yes, sorry.
Thank you for moving the plot along.
I'm on the edge of my seat.
Apologies. He says, "I'm not ready. I'm not sure I'm ready for another box." And the Cinnamon Toast Crunch account again said they promise that our team will look into this and get to the bottom of it. They then said that the objects were not, in fact, shrimp tails, but an accumulation of the cinnamon sugar that sometimes can occur when ingredients are not thoroughly blended, and that there is no possibility of cross-contamination with shrimp. But
It's shrimp tails.
it looks like shrimp tails to me.
It's Shrimp Tails Woo. You know, that would be the theme song.
Yeah.
It is definitely Shrimp Tails, but the account proceeds to try and gaslight him, right?
That's
Yes.
incredible.
They're like, there's no way
Cereal.
that's shrimp.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but that's not what's happening. And they say there's no possibility of cross-contamination, which I get it. They probably don't process shrimp and Cinnamon Toast Crunch in the same plant. Maybe they do, maybe they don't, but that's probably what they're saying there. But like, what if an employee on his lunch break treated himself to a little peel and eat?
Well,
Yeah.
this may be the seaside location stationed in Monterey.
Wait,
I don't
where
think
do
that
they make?
They're considering.
That's a great
Where
question.
do they make it?
Yeah,
it's
is it
one of
still
those
in
probably,
under?
like, unlabeled
Is it still in the
things.
Marianas Trench?
To what Charlotte's saying, you know, you never know if you're that close to the water, you know, you get in the sand. That stuff gets up everywhere. You don't know if then after your lunch break, you're coming back to the conveyor belt and maybe a few shrimp fall out of your underwear.
Save
Your
it to suck
underwear,
on
wherever you
later.
keep your lunch. Yeah,
We
your
don't
beard.
know.
You want me to throw out your shrimp tails? No. There's a lot of residue here that I'm gonna be sucking on
Or-
later.
Yeah, what if someone's just bent over? They had some shrimp tails in their pocket. Maybe, you know, they were going out for their cigarette and shrimp break. They're standing outside, so they're putting the shrimp tails in the pocket because they don't want to litter.
Little afternoon shrimp.
Little
Yeah.
afternoon shrimp.
They kind of bend over the thing,
Well, they inspect every square.
and the shrimp pops out. Or someone did it maliciously.
That's what I
Y'all,
was curious about.
It's an inside job.
Subterfuge.
Y'all want another Jensen Karp fact?
Yes, please.
Yeah, of course.
My man is married to Topanga from Boy Meets World.
Really?
Oh,
Uh-huh.
I
What's
thought
her
she
name?
married Corey, but
Nope, she married Jensen Karp, otherwise known as Hot Carl, signed at 11 years old to Ice-T's Rhyme Syndicate. And
Hot
she
Carl.
could not resist that. That's his pseudonym. That's his stage
I
name.
should have been
I
Holly's.
figured.
Hot
You should,
Elise.
you know, yeah.
Hot Elise, Hot Patrick,
11 years.
Hot Charlotte.
So I do think he touched on it there briefly that maybe this was a saboteur.
Yeah.
An irate employee.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have more?
Do you think
Because we all
or-
know we've all put something in a Funhaus video when we've been mad.
something
We've all been there.
Yeah.
something that
Yeah,
could
yeah.
ruin another member of the team? Yeah, we love doing that just as a prank, and because
Just to incriminate Ryan.
because we're cruel people at heart too.
Horrible individuals all put in the same online space together.
What? There's like a lot of examples of this happening, right? Where somebody finds like a chicken head in their chicken nuggets, and it's usually like comes out as being like, no, it didn't happen.
Well, at least there's a through line.
But
Yeah.
probably,
What about the finger in the chili at Wendy's that the woman put there?
Wait, was that something that
Classic.
happened?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, this is a Americana, I suppose. Maybe everyone grew up knowing about the woman who had the finger in her chili.
that
No.
one was for sure fake.
Wait,
Yeah.
was it planted?
Yes.
Like
She
she
put
was
it in
trying to
there.
sue them?
I don't remember where she got the finger.
The finger?
from.
Yeah, that's maybe she worked in the morgue.
Or no one noticed during the entire trial. She only had 9 fingers.
Maybe she did the old
It's the
cut a
greatest
hole in the
crime.
bottom of the box trick.
Oh,
You know? Will
yeah,
Smith did it
it's
in that
just-
one episode of Fresh Prince.
yep.
He put a
That's
ketchup
true.
on it.
I'm
I've done it.
imagining they never notice where the finger came from, and she gets off innocent, and then like Kaiser Soze or whatever, however you pronounce it, she slowly walks away and unfurls her finger, showing the missing stub, and then she smiles.
A sly grin.
she's able to bend the finger at that knuckle that no one can actually bend their finger at.
Yeah.
But
And she's naming things on the wall behind the judge that he shouldn't have there. Yes, I told them, hang in there. And he's like, sounds legit.
I think my favorite part about it is the fact that it's coated in cinnamon sugar. That's the
Yes.
best part.
it got
And-
processed.
Yeah.
It was there for the whole thing. And in just enough cinnamon sugar that the social media manager at General Mills, or whoever told them to post this, said, I think we can get away with this. I think we got this in the bag. There's nothing to worry about. Look at that. It's an accumulation of cinnamon and sugar.
Even funnier
Yeah.
that
and
it's
like,
just cinnamon sugar. Like you could rinse it off and find out.
and it's so many close calls because like a week ago the social media manager was like clicking cancel on a tweet that said women belong eating cereal
Right.
or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Like they're like it's just crisis after crisis averted for the Cinnamon Toast Crunch Twitter account.
Their brand.
My favorite thing is all of the like marine biologists coming out and saying like, no dog, that's shrimp. Cannot.
That's so funny. I didn't know that was a part of it. I love when the experts get called in.
There is a little more here.
Okay.
Carp said he sent some more photos and said that it was evidence, or it was further photo evidence that they were shrimp tails. Did I have that one? I think that might be the third image I sent.
And let's see it.
And
Yeah, those are shrimp tails.
okay,
Cooked,
there
it
you
looks
go.
like maybe.
Yeah,
Some sort of
yeah,
heat processing.
or like an air fryer maybe they went through.
Someone's lunch.
Something
Someone
like
took bit off that shrimp.
It's
Tossed the tail.
It's definitely not cinnamon sugar.
No, it's organic matter.
Yeah.
That's carbon based. Can I say one more thing about chili finger?
Please.
Yeah.
Chili finger, like the movie. Part of the investigation was that she said that the finger had been fully cooked when she found it in the chili. The Santa Clara County's coroner's office initially concluded that the finger, quote, was not consistent with an object that had been cooked in chili at 170 degrees for 3 hours. Which is like the smoking gun of the chili finger investigation. Like that's that's like very interesting to me.
You have
that
to
car?
consider before you go into something like this, before you get a hold of a human finger, I imagine cook it to some degree.
I guess she did try to cook it.
What's the thought? Do you think the finger was like a fortuitous, like did she come upon a finger and then was like,
This is an opportunity.
Right. Was it something like that?
On May 13th, 2005, police announced that they had identified the finger as belonging to Brian Paul Rossiter, an associate of Ayala's husband. Ayala is the woman. Rossiter had lost his finger in an industrial accident at an asphalt company in December 2004, which I should remind you is 4 months prior to the events, and had subsequently sold the finger to Ayala's husband in order to settle a debt. What kind of debt was settled with the sell? And that means that he paid money for the finger, and it was still to settle a debt in his favor.
Right.
Police received the information from an undisclosed caller to the Wendy's hotline, later discovered to be Brian himself. So the guy who lost the finger is the one who broke the case wide open.
Well, he was
so
probably
somewhere
mad. He didn't think
there's
of it.
some shrimp swimming around the bay without tails.
We just got to get them to call the investigator's office, and we can put this to rest.
Well, it gets even weirder because I just looked it up, and Cinnamon Toast Crunch is packaged in Albuquerque, which is not
Albuquerque,
near
New Mexico.
a shrimp-friendly biome.
Could be sand shrimp.
Sand shrimp.
Do you have sand shrimp in Canada?
Well,
Alice?
I don't even know what that is.
Because it doesn't exist.
Okay, all right. So you wanted me to like a buffoon. This is one of the Funhaus goofs I'm talking about. You wanted me to like a buffoon go, yeah, I think so. From the Maritimes. Yeah, I think.
From the Maritimes.
Delise, you're finished on this channel.
Oh, thank God. I think what we're not talking about is that this was not just shrimp. Mm-hmm. Correct, Patrick? There's more to this story.
There is more to the story, yeah. So he opens up the rest of it. Well, first of all, they asked him to send the shrimp tails to them. Cinnamon Toast Crunch did.
No fucking way.
He said he would send
those.
one, but he'd keep the other.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which is
Reasonable
smart.
enough.
That's a smart move. So
That's
they can't just
that
be
is
like,
how you. That's how
"Nope,
you get Topanga to
nothing
marry you. You have
happened."
Smarts.
That's exactly right. Yes. So he opens up the rest of the box, which was 2. There was a family pack, of course. So he opened the second box to see if there's anything wrong with that one. And across the 2 boxes, he found several items. He said string, dental floss, and multiple squares of cereal with black specks baked into them. There we go.
It could be someone's ashes.
Take it away.
Could be.
Look at it anymore.
Charlotte loves Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
No, I love rat poop.
This is breaking every single.
It's making me not want to
Yeah.
eat it anymore.
What is it called? We've talked about this before, but
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
No. The minimum amount of rat feces you can have in a product. Minimum acceptable levels, right?
Didn't our
I don't
coffee
know.
machine have roach droppings in it?
Yeah.
You should have seen the machinima kitchen at the end. Woo!
I think we had a
Rough.
roach thing, and then Tori
Yeah.
handled it.
Coffee
Toy's the
machines.
best, but
Coffee
that stuff does
machines
accumulate
are
it.
notorious for being hives of bugs because they're nice.
I don't
They're
drink
nice
it,
and
so I
hot.
don't know.
I do all the time, and every time Charlotte gets one, I ask if she's enjoying her roach coffee, and it upsets her. But I continue to drink
do
it.
that. We must never go back to the office. I did once. I was feeling a little sick, and I was at someone's house, and they were like, "Can I get you a cup of tea?" And I was like, "That would be great." This is in downtown LA, and I had the tea, and it was nice, but my throat still hurt, and I said, "I'm gonna make another one. Can I put on some water?" And she said, "Yeah, okay." And I pulled open the kettle, and I look in the bottom, and seared, I tell you, to the bottom were 3 little cockroaches. and I, at first I'm like, how did these crawl in here and get killed like this after I had my tea? And then the rest of my brain kicked in, and it was like,
Right.
no, I drank roach tea.
Yeah.
Content warning. Sorry,
I would
everybody.
gag immediately.
At least it was boiled.
I did,
I
yeah.
I posted this picture recently, and it was me dressed as a news anchor holding a boa, like a
Yes.
a giant
yeah.
snake on my shoulders.
Sure.
And it was for this old BuzzFeed show that I did, and it was kind of a cool premise because I had to do a newscast while I was handling all these creatures. And I don't really have a problem with bugs. I don't really have when I was a kid, I really liked bugs. Can I say that? Can I say that on the show?
Yeah.
Some of my only friends were bugs. And
You can't say that.
my mom would get like annoyed with me because I'd go to the wooded area near where we lived and try to catch snakes and stuff. So I have no problem with creatures like that. The one thing I hate is cockroaches.
They're horrible.
Repulse me.
Not great.
Repulse
not
me.
great.
And so I was enjoying this experience because the creature handler had like giant snakes. There was a tarantula that I got to hold. That was super cute. But then at one point he pulled out a cockroach this big. And I was like,
size
nope,
of a tangerine.
The size of a tangerine.
The size of a tangerine.
And that was
That's terrifying. I don't like that shit. Oh God, they're so.
It's the combination of the crunchy and the squishy.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm crunchy. She's squishy. And together,
We're
disgusting. We're
We had
cockroaches.
one. We've had two of the huge ones get into two of our apartments where like one was just a ground floor apartment and they would do like all this. They were doing all this landscaping, so there were just roaches everywhere. And we look over and our cat is just like by the front door, just kind of. You're like, what the fuck is going on? She's just staring at the wall, and all of a sudden we just see this huge roach climbing up the wall. It's just like, ugh. And then recently we had one walk across the carpet. It was like, I don't want.
It's when they're casual is the worst.
Yeah.
When they feel like it's their
so,
house.
Yeah, exactly. Just rude, but
I'll say one more bug story, but
yeah.
I lived in this shithole house in Philly, and we had like thousand-leggers, you know, the millipedes. Mm-hmm. And I was in the bathroom on the toilet pooping, and one came down off the wall and started crawling on the floor towards me. And unfortunately, it had been so bad that I was so used to it that without looking up from my phone, I went, and I snapped at it, and it stopped, and it turned around and went back up the way it came down.
You're like the queen
That's
of
awesome.
the feeds.
I know,
Yeah.
right? I'm like a disgusting Snow White. But yeah, I didn't realize until after it had happened. I'm like, what was that? What exactly evolutionarily just happened?
Yeah.
This is crucial.
God. Well, so is there any resolution? Has there been any resolution or progress with this story?
Well, I just want to say, so there is something, the FDA allows a certain amount of insect parts, rodent feces, and fly eggs in all processed foods. So if you've ever eaten anything out of a jar, if you've ever eaten anything that was made, unless you're buying fresh ingredients 100% of the time, you have eaten all these things a lot throughout your entire life. Because it just happens. They can't keep bugs and rodents out of these places. So they just get ground up and baked into it. You usually don't see it because there's quality control, but it's there in very small amounts, granted. Like they're low numbers, but shit, this is different though. This is like, these are whole shrimp tails and floss apparently.
They're cooking with gas here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I saw this.
Ooh,
Somebody was like,
Okay.
General Mills making cookies now.
this is
I
pretty good.
love shrimp, so that image doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah. For the
I
audio
don't.
listeners, it was two cookie wafers with the shrimp, like it was the cream filling.
Yeah.
Betwixt them.
Right. Now I know what you're thinking. Don't worry, it was a vanilla Oreo.
Elise,
It's okay.
question about your history with shrimp, and I already know Charlotte's answer. Have you ever gone to the San Pedro Wharf down there, the San Pedro docks, to the seafood market?
No.
Wonderful. When COVID's over, we'll get all Funhaus to drive down there. You go, and it's like a seafood counter where you buy raw, so you can get shrimp, you can get swordfish, you can get lobster, you can get tilapia, you can get whatever you want, octopus, shark, and you just buy like a pound of it, and then you tell them what sides you want. You want garlic bread, you want whatever. And then there's like these 3 different cooking stations where you take your seafood to be cooked. And you just get like an enormous tray full of like potatoes and vegetables and garlic bread. And there's like churro people, and they sell like gigantic booze and orange drinks. It's amazing.
Oh,
That sounds wonderful. I've only ever
is.
been to like the chain restaurant. I forget what it's called, but where like they'll bring you like bags of crab legs to your table.
Oh yeah. There's a bunch of those. Yeah. There's a kicking crab is one of them.
Oh, I love crab legs.
Boiling crab?
Oh, boiling crab. I didn't know that was a chain. I would love to get some. Get butter all over my shit. Fuck yeah. Hell yeah. I remember shortly after John and I moved in together, we found this seafood place where you could get a whole fried fish. And we excitedly just called the dish,
shit.
Getting a whole fish. And Elise, you came with us.
Yeah.
Once.
I remember that
I can't hear you.
Can't hear you.
Oh, really?
Oh, there you go.
Now I can.
Oh, that's weird. Nothing changed.
Huh.
Yes, I vividly remember that fish and the both of you braggadocios.
I was going around the whole office saying, "Do you want to come with John and I to get a whole fish?" And that's how I asked everybody. And John said to me, when only you and James, I think somebody else maybe agreed to come. I don't remember.
Jacob, maybe?
Jacob, I think, came, yeah. But John was like, maybe people aren't coming because you're only telling them we're going to go get a whole fish. And I was like, but that's what it is. He's like, I know. Yeah. But maybe we should just tell them we're going to a seafood place not far from the office. And I was like, got it.
I eat that shit all the time. My fiance.
It's so good. It's so good.
Denise's parents make it a lot.
Oh, man.
We'll go over there and they just got the thing out and they're grilling whole tilapia. It's delicious.
Whole fish.
It's delicious.
You keep saying a whole fish like it's the selling point. Like you're not.
It's not a big fish either.
It's just quantity.
Right.
No, the fish at this place was pretty big.
I don't think Charlotte.
It's like a branzino or something.
It's scope. You're talking about scope of the fish.
It's a whole fish.
Right, but what kind of fish?
The eyes are still on it. When they bring you the plate, the eyes are on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the whole fish.
It's just a tilapia. Like it's
not tilapia. I've had tilapia.
It
wasn't tilapia.
I mean, you're acting like it's First Nations using every part of the buffalo. Right. It's wasteful if you don't eat the fish eyes.
Did you eat the fish eyes?
I sucked on the head. I don't remember if I ate the eyes. I think they kind of liquefy. They don't really stay. They don't stay fucking.
Well, they shrivel.
Shrivel, right?
So,
yeah. If it's a whole fish, though, what more can I say?
You're so
Cinnamon
enchanted
Toast
by
Crunch is like they're still on blast, right?
Yes. Last I checked this morning, let me look it up really quick.
Oh, General Mills is.
But last I checked, there had
we
been
filmed this
no
podcast
resolution.
on Tuesdays, so this is Tuesday, March 23rd. If you're listening.
Yep.
Yeah, but there may be further developments as the week progresses. Damn, it's only Tuesday?
Doesn't look like... Oh, there is one image that I missed. Because this is a whole huge thread. But there are some photos of more black shit baked into the cereal. There's a photo
That's disgusting.
There's a photo of the dental floss. And there's a photo of just the other detritus.
I am curious.
Came out.
Detritus. I'm curious to look and see because I'm sure people now are starting to meme this and just take pictures of Cinnamon Toast Crunch with all kinds of dumb shit amongst the grains. So I haven't dove into that yet.
I feel like there might be fertile ground for like crossover for like, look what I found in my stimulus check, and it's like shrimp or something.
Yeah, it's like I found this copy of We Bought a Zoo in my Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Well, that would be good. That's worth $1,400.
And Matt Damon afraid of snakes.
Really?
Is he?
That's just that's the only thing I remember from the presser.
That's probably how his buds pranked him on the set of Oceans. Because they were having fun on the set of Oceans.
Oh, George Clooney put a snake in Matt Damon's cat's litter box.
And he was $1 million snake.
It was $1 million snake.
Because he could.
And it killed the cat.
It killed the cat. That's right. And he also took a big shit.
In the cat's litter box.
No,
that's
later.
A millionaire prank. That's a millionaire prank.
That's a millionaire prank. When money falls away, you just take big shits. Also, I would like to issue a formal apology.
To Matt
the whole
Damon.
Fish is a tilapia.
I know. There was never any doubt in my mind that it wasn't a tilapia.
That's a whole tilapia, though.
All right.
Yeah. Well, I think that's it for shrimp, unless there's any more shrimp-based
No, I'm good.
news
I
you
made
want to
shrimp
talk
tacos
about.
last week. I found no cereal in it.
Well, I was gonna say,
Oh,
did you get the shrimp out of Cinnamon Toast Crunch?
That's
You know
someone's
what?
gonna.
Someone's gonna make that. You're right, Elise.
They know they're gonna make that joke of I found cinnamon toast crunch in my shrimp.
In my shrimp, that's right.
Yeah, and that's really funny though. So like I say take it,
Fuck, I
take
wish
the
it was
joke and
me.
run with it. Oh fuck,
Yes.
I wish that were me.
You might have time.
Hot Elise.
Or
I
just a-
could, but 11
get a
years old, she
bowl.
signed to Funhaus.
I will become Hot Elise.
Oh, sorry, Charlotte. You were saying something.
I don't even remember. It
You
probably
made the
was stupid.
tacos.
Oh, I can see some fucking like Mexican fusion-ish place in LA being like, we're offering now a cereal shrimp, cereal shrimp taco, like, because they'll do
Sugar and
anything.
cinnamon.
It's like, this is a red beet gochujang taco with a chocolate drizzle, and it's like, and I want this, and it's like, and it's $7 each. Okay,
And you wait in line for 45 minutes to an hour.
and there's
to
no
get it.
seats
No.
inside. It's just a
Yeah.
counter.
And it's
You're
been
like, wow.
pre-bitten.
It's been pre-bitten. Yeah,
James,
and it comes
James,
to the tweet.
I shouldn't talk about our adorable lives, but James and I do this
Go
thing
for
where
it.
like one of
Go
us
for it,
will
yeah.
like buy cookies, for example, from the store, and then the other one who didn't purchase them will, of course, open the pack of cookies and like take one and eat it.
Mm-hmm.
And then the person that bought the cookies, we always do this adorable thing to each other where we're like, oh my god, did you see this? It looks like somebody from the store took a bite. Like if this is a box of cookies, it looks like somebody took a bite out of one of the cookies. They like they ate one of the, they opened them and ate one of the cookies, and then the person that eats it goes, oh my god, do you think we should go back to the store? We do this every single
And
time.
you both
because
know.
we have no lives.
Right.
No.
I love
And then-
that. That's adorable.
Thanks, Sean.
That's very cute. Patrick, say it's cute.
Oh, sorry. It's cute.
Thank you, Patrick.
Yes. All right.
I do really like that. Just like the playing the game for the sake of playing the game because you've never
Every
not
time.
played the game.
Yeah.
What if James in his head is just like, she's
I want to kill
still,
her.
I was gonna say she still hasn't figured it out. Has no idea that you're in on it.
He's like, nice one, Jimmy Dubs.
Sweet, simple Elise. You
Sweet,
played right into
simple,
my
hot
trap again.
Elise.
So hot.
Yeah.
So there's a Nintendo Switch coming, huh?
Oh yeah, thank you for doing it.
Thank you,
'Cause I
gamer.
couldn't get there. New Switch news, possible new Nintendo Switch news for the good Switch, the Switch that performs.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Switch.
apparently
What
there's a new
performs?
model coming out. They're calling it the Switch Pro. I think that's what everyone's been calling it forever. But
Uh-huh.
I think this came up again because there's reports that it's going to use an upgraded NVIDIA chip for graphics. So you got better graphics, better processing,
I found chips in my Nintendo
and-
Switch.
and it might come out by the holidays, in time for the holidays.
Damn.
Yeah, and it'll cost more,
need it.
obviously.
And it's 4K.
Yeah, plugged in it's 4K. I think undocked it's 720.
So wait, it goes from 4K to 720?
I think that's what they said. Yeah,
That's bad.
Meow.
yeah. What is it now?
Wow.
What is handheld right now on the Switch?
this
That's
cup?
a great question.
Oh, okay.
I can Google it.
Yeah.
Handheld is 720 on the Switch. Oh, it's
Oh, really?
yeah, it's 1280 720. Yeah.
Huh.
And then 1080 on the TV.
Yeah. No. It
Or at
says,
least
it
it's
still
supposed to be
says
1080. I'm sure a lot of games dip.
it still says 720 for the new one. So I don't know. Maybe the dock is getting more of an upgrade than the Switch. I don't know how that would work. It might also
mean,
be
that would
some
be
kind of
cool.
like 4K upscaling type of deal where it's not really 4K. It's
Yeah.
more, yeah.
That can be done pretty well though. My streaming stick does that.
Oh, sorry. That is what it is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. So yeah, they're
Okay.
getting, anyway, they're getting updated CPU, bigger screen, which is good. It's supposed to be a 7-inch screen now. So that's
Wow, that's
bigger.
fairly big.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the price point they're seeing will be $100 upwards
it?
of $100
Oh.
more than the $299 price point for
Yeah.
the existing model, which
It's not
is
bad.
like $400.
Are you guys gonna get one?
Have you?
I
Well,
don't
my
know.
question to you both is: have you, since the Switch came out, have you upgraded at all? Because I know a lot of people that have since like they've traded their Switch. Like John Smith is the biggest culprit of this because it's kind of like he's like, well, I need a Switch Lite because I'm a man on the go. It's like, well, it's not really an
Oh.
upgrade.
Yeah, right.
And
She's
I
putting
froze.
out for-
Looks like she's
Yeah,
going
you're
on
frozen.
an adventure.
You're kind of
I'm going on an adventure.
Mr. Frodo.
Oh wait, no, we'll get to that later. That's in here too.
Oh,
Don't talk about
so
hobbits yet.
I haven't done the old Switch trade, the old switcheroo yet. I
haven't either.
still have my Switch from launch, and I do think that even though there's nothing really wrong with my Switch aside from Joy-Con drift, I might be in the market to upgrade to this one.
Yeah, I'll
The end.
definitely consider it because there's always somebody like I know my niece really wants a Switch, but no one's gonna buy her a $300 console because she's 8. So it's like if I have the means and there's a reason for me to upgrade, it's like, oh, and then I can just give her my Switch and I can get the nice one, the new one.
Get
But
those
I don't
uncle
know.
points.
I don't know.
Oh, get
It's,
those
I don't
uncle points.
need it, and I don't
Tio Patrick.
really play it a ton. I play it heavily, like when a game comes out for it, but it's not my default play device. You know,
Really? What's your
I
default?
barely touch mine.
PC?
PC,
Nice book.
which kind of sucks because I'm stuck in the office chair, but I also feel bad about like making my fiance just watch me play video games for 4 hours if I'm going to do that
Yeah.
at night. So I tend to just stick to the PC, or sometimes I'll play Switch out there or whatever, just docked or not undocked. But no, that PC more than anything else. But I have them all, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say is it doesn't matter what I say now. New stuff is going to be available. Other people, Patrick included, are going to get it. So I'm going to need to have it.
Yeah.
So I am so beholden to the market and advertising. I'm so susceptible and I'm so simple and hot that when something is put in front of me that's new, like I have a PS5, I barely use it because there's no games for it yet. I
And
mostly play my PC.
you got it because you were annoyed that I got one and you weren't
No,
able
that
to.
was just part of it. I was annoyed initially because I wanted one to begin with.
Well,
but
Gotcha.
when you got
Charlotte-
one, that really was like, fuck, I gotta get one of these.
Perhaps you would be susceptible to a word from one of our sponsors then.
It's
Oh,
entirely likely.
Would you be?
In the 60s, the average American bought 25 items a year. Compare that to an average of 67 items a year today. And we're not even wearing them that much. We wear, only 18% of our clothes over the last 12 months. American Giant believes that clothes should be wearable for years, so you don't have to buy more than you need. Okay, this is reduction. This is buying quality over quantity, people. And I could not agree more. American Giant is keeping things simple and close to home to drive better quality, stronger relationships, and more transparency. 60% of the clothes that we buy end up in a landfill within a year of being made because big apparel companies are constantly finding ways to cut corners and just make clothing as quickly as possible, this assembly line stuff. American Giant makes clothing that's durable and built to last. Durable, not disposable. And I can't tell you enough, I'm decked out in some American Giant right now. I have on this hoodie, this woman's hoodie, which durable comes to mind, but also sturdy. Like I feel like I don't have that much clothing that I would consider sturdy, but that's what I do. This is the best hoodie that I own. And I know what you're thinking, Elise, you don't have that great of style. That's probably not too tough for you. But no, I do have good style. I do. Anyway, this is the best hoodie that I own because it's made well. It fits great. It's very fitted and streamlined and just even touches like the zipper, which, you get a hoodie and you're like, this is great. But then the zipper breaks after 6 months. This is a super quality zipper. So smooth. So good. beneath this hoodie, I also have a t-shirt on, which aside from just really liking the color, also probably the nicest t-shirt that I own, because it's not just like some flimsy, cotton that's going to wrinkle in the dryer. This is really quality made. Has a nice kind of like texture to it too. I love it. It's really in my wheelhouse. So I truly appreciate it. And I also just appreciate the mentality that American Giant has behind their clothing, which is, making clothing to reduce our CO2 emissions by 400% and finding ways to reduce output. I really appreciate that. And right now, you can get 15% off your first order when you use promo code DUDE at american-giant.com. That's 15% off when you use code DUDE, D-U-D-E, at american-giant.com. Thank you, American Giant. Thank you for dressing me. It's always nice as an adult when you don't have to worry about dressing yourself. It's one of the things I miss as being a child.
But yeah, 7-inch screen, that's pretty big. I've had a 7-inch tablet before, and that was a good size.
Too much, you said.
Too much. It might be too much. It's definitely not like as airplane friendly.
Look, yeah, guys, that's what I'm talking about. We need the Switch because, like, once the world's back to normal, we're going to be moving and shaking.
That's right.
I'm always shaking and I'm always moving, but it's at such a fine degree that you can never tell. I am in constant motion.
I'm going to be driving.
Not discernible to the human eye.
Yeah.
I'm going to spend most of my time driving to and from Giant Stadium concerts to be around people again.
With stopping off at nursing homes on the way to just spread the good word.
Yeah.
Patrick, what's like the concert you want to go to?
The concert I want to go to, like ideally?
Yeah. Or well, if you're pumped for stadium concerts.
Stadium concerts. No. Let's see.
Is that just a goof?
Not that I'm on the spot.
Saying.
I mean, yeah. I don't want to. You know what's funny? One of the last things I did before, like this is when everyone was starting to get really nervous, but before anyone was wearing masks. But when it was like very tense, like early March, I saw Kiss at the Staples Center.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a Psycho Circus.
And it was like, I mean, it's already ridiculous. It's already Kiss,
Yes.
But then like everybody there, and it's packed. Like it's the Staples Center, and it's full of people. I don't know what capacity is, but it is completely packed, and everybody is kind of just like, should we have done this? This feels bad, kind of. And then 2 weeks later, it was like everything shut down.
Yeah.
But
what was funny about that Kiss concert is I think maybe a week or two prior, Patrick started our Twitch show, What a Show. And just as quickly as we began it, Patrick texted me and said, I can't do this week. I'm going to see Kiss. and he did.
It was important.
It's a tale as old as time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It happens to every great Twitch streamer or podcaster. It's going to come up.
If you're
and
in
I'll
a
tell you
duo,
why.
yeah.
And because more so than Kiss's music being good, they are excellent businessmen.
That's why I went.
That's a fascinating thing about them. If you ever watch a documentary about Kiss, just fascinating.
Well, yeah, the music is stupid. It's just it's the spectacle of it. Is crazy.
It was in the 90s. Paul Stanley did a run of Phantom of the Opera in Toronto. Where he played Phantom. Yeah.
Good for him.
He was dope.
All right, shout out
see
Paul
it?
Stanley.
Did you go?
Yes, but I'm not a big musical fan.
Yeah,
so I was just there.
Neither are we.
Yeah.
I've seen a couple. I saw David Hyde Pierce on Broadway.
The musical?
David Hyde Pierce, the musical. Yeah. He goes through his life on Frasier.
A Life in Song.
And Hellboy. No, it was like 2000, like, it was early. I was young. I didn't really appreciate it. And it wasn't until I started watching Frasier a couple of years ago that it made me appreciate it in retrospect.
So lucky.
I love David Hyde Pierce.
Mm-hmm.
His physical comedy in Frasier is like second to none. He just moves like a it's like a dance. It's beautiful.
Like a lemur.
It's kind of cheating because he has a funny body already.
He's just lanky-ish. He's not even that tall though. He's just lithe.
Yeah, but that's funny.
It is fun. He is funny. I'm not going to bring up specific episodes
But-
of Frasier right now on the podcast.
D-
I can't.
Yeah, DHP could also play like a serial killer in something and be super threatening. I feel like
he
think
recently
he
did a
has.
film where he basically does Niles Crane. I haven't seen it yet, but a guy tries to break into his house to steal from him, and David Hyde Pierce like drugs him and keeps him as like a guest in this nightmare dinner psychological thriller, and he basically is just Niles the whole time, but as a serial killer.
All
I
right.
don't remember what it's called, but the trailer looked fun. I just haven't ever gotten around to seeing it.
Is it The Perfect Host,
I think so.
where he's an on the run convict looking for temporary cover, finds it at the house of a very colorful character?
Yes.
Perhaps.
That sounds right.
Yes. And it wasn't long after Frasier either. It was 2010, which is, years after, but it's not 2021.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Frasier, when it crosses over into the 2000s, is fun because they'll reference like Shrek or Austin Powers.
Yeah.
It feels totally like dissonant because it's like, no, you don't get to do that. You're a 90s show. You can't talk about Austin Powers.
Pretty much every show that people think of when they think of 90s shows went until like 2004.
Yeah, like I saw Steve Buscemi on The Sopranos, and I was like, I can't believe he went from this to Spy Kids 2. And then I looked it up, and that was 2 or 3 years after he made Spy Kids 2.
Yeah.
So those are the only two things that matter to me.
Steve Buscemi and Spy Kids. Got it. Yeah, I mean, I don't really have any more thoughts on the Switch. It's cool. I hope it comes out and works. It's kind of weird that Okay.
What is it, boy?
I think I just had a little bit of a power flash there for a little rolling brownout there. But it seems like everything is still running fine. So, yeah, it seems weird that it kind of sounds like all you're really getting out of this is a bigger screen because the 4K is upscaled, which is fine. I don't think that's bad, but I don't know.
Well, there's some quality of life stuff, like maybe a better battery, and maybe it doesn't get so hot in the hand when you're playing. Like,
do you
a
think
3D
that'll
game.
happen though? I feel like if it's a bigger screen, it's still gonna get like that.
The battery probably won't be great, but if they can fix the cooling a little bit, and
Yeah.
maybe it'll be thinner, because the Switch is chunky, and if you just made it taller or wider, that would be unwieldy. I have a
think-
Switch-related question for you too.
Yeah.
Sorry, if you want to go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, I think because we've been hearing about this for like 2 years now, but it kind of makes sense that it's coming out this year after all the other major console releases and everything, that they're now finally releasing it.
It's hard to read into Nintendo's motivations, but you
That's
would
true.
assume that there would be some sort of big game release alongside the Switch Pro, and I want to know what you guys would like to see.
It'd probably be Breath of the Wild 2, right? Or whatever the sequel's called.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't know where that Metroid 4 is at.
Oh, yeah. Forgot about that.
Yep.
I
Yeah,
want
that's
a new
coming
3D
out.
Mario game,
You just
like
got
a full
one.
one, like a
That
full
was like
one,
that was like a solid.
a whole
third of one.
fish.
Well, I don't know if you're gonna get a whole fish for Mario again until next time around, next console. But I don't know. I want the Breath of the Wild sequel. I'm excited
Same.
for that.
I never
Pumped.
finished the first one.
They haven't said anything else about it, have they? They just released the one trailer and we're like, well, see you in 2 years.
They don't need to.
Dehydrated Ganondorf, big
Yeah.
swinging hog. Everyone draws him with.
Yep. It's like that and Elden Ring. I mean, at least the Breath of the Wild one, they've mentioned it in passing before. Elden
Right,
Ring
and
is
it's
just
built
like,
on an existing engine.
here's a trailer. Bye. Fuck off. But we have two more things to get to, but talk about this fair. We don't have to talk about this for too long because it's pretty businessy, but
It's
Microsoft,
business.
Microsoft,
Stocks are up.
that's right. Microsoft seems to be interested in buying Discord for $10 billion. I don't know. It was an anonymous source that they have looked into it. The Discord is looking to sell. Microsoft may be looking to buy. But then somebody else also said, no, that's not happening.
Okay,
So, but
compelling.
it seems like there's enough there though that something is going on. Like there's some kind of talks or something. And I mean, several sources have said that Discord is in sales talks to sell. So I don't know. Microsoft is getting a little too big.
The one comparison I keep seeing drawn is when Microsoft bought Skype, and then essentially kind of borked it. So everyone's very hesitant at this, or everyone's a little bit gun shy at the idea of this happening because of precedent. I mean, I think if you made Discord, fuck it, get your payday, right?
Yeah, get that bag. Certainly.
Yeah. I also wonder though, like, you're making so much money if you own Discord. I mean, I know this is just how things work. People do this shit all the time, but it's like, don't sell your shit. Just, you don't want that. Skype was like so on top for so long. I mean, it was completely, the name Skype was totally ubiquitous. And it was, I mean, it's just what you said if you were going to do any kind of video chatting. It was the only real, like, reliable, semi-reliable video chatting software. And then
the fact that they bungled 2020 so thoroughly, like,
that's what I was going to say.
Nobody had ever heard of.
This is your time to shine.
Yeah, they like were standing.
This is your Zoom to shine.
At the door, and a baby. They were standing at the finish line, just like smoking a cigarette, and a fucking baby beat them. Doesn't make any sense.
A baby with a significant amount of privacy and security issues.
How do you fuck up that bad? Yeah, seriously. How do you mess up that bad? It's also one of those apps that's pre-installed on any computer. Like when you install Windows, it automatically installs Skype, and I don't think you can uninstall it. I think it's just there.
Yeah, you can try to remove traces of it, but it's difficult. And then there will always be a situation where you're like, finally, I've rid myself of Skype. And then you're doing some kind of business thing, and someone's like, can you talk over Skype? And you're like, God damn it. Like,
we used to Skype in Brian for the Inside Gaming, and it made no sense.
2 or 3 times this year I've had to use Skype, and it's after I'm like, because I always do the thing where I'm like, never gonna have to use this again. And then I try to get rid of every trace.
Right, yeah. And then it's
especially when like there
which
are
of my 6
ones.
Emails from the past 20 years is attached to Skype?
Oh my god, yeah. I don't even know if I had an account in like 2007 or 8, something like that, but I don't know.
I don't know. I don't want them to get bought by Microsoft, but I'd rather they get bought by Microsoft than Facebook or Google.
I guess. I mean,
I just like, because Facebook forces sign-on stuff Amazon. On everybody, and Google just kills projects that it doesn't trust anymore. I don't like Amazon, but I feel like they would be better than those.
Well, so does Microsoft.
I just mentioned. Microsoft at least has a good track record lately.
Oh, but they kill shit too all the time.
Yeah.
Like projects and stuff. Facebook's the worst, obviously. That's a worst case scenario for anybody. The fact that they now Facebook's business model now is buy something that's popular and force people to make a Facebook account to use it, and that's how they get signups. Because nobody is signing up for Facebook anymore. Nobody wants to be on there anymore. They have to America. No, not in America. Yeah, it is still big in other parts of the world, but I think Discord's like blown up too since the pandemic, whereas before it was pretty gamer heavy.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Now it's, a place to hang out with your friends. It's an easy room, easy little chat thing.
Yeah, you can all talk to each other while you watch Tiger King and play Animal Crossing.
Yeah, exactly.
What a reference.
Remember?
Damn, that seems like so long ago. Fuck. But yeah, I don't know. I kind of hope it doesn't happen, but it's also weird. Like, will they just try to replace Skype with Discord? Because that would suck if it was suddenly just like are they just buying the name to then kind of like try and turn it into a business utility? But I feel like they wouldn't buy it that's what they want. I don't
think so. Old people still recognize Skype.
Yeah.
Maybe they would do some integration
from Discord, and just use the Skype brand for like a simplified bare bones video version of it, because Discord has so many features. Like, it goes so deep and is so like customizable by server that I feel like if you like gave it to somebody who only ever knew Skype, it's like, make this work, and it's like,
it's pretty confusing, yeah, initially.
Yeah. Or just
Yeah.
some type of in-game integration that they could do.
putting it on Xboxes.
Yeah, I mean, if they were buying it just to like make it an Xbox feature or something, I guess that would sort of make sense. But I don't know why they. I don't know. I guess they just buy everything. That's just their thing. They just buy it. They just love spending tens of billions of dollars on things. Someone at the top gets off on it. Yeah. Finally, we got one more thing. It's a big one. The Lord of the Rings series, the Amazon Lord of the Rings series, might be in trouble.
Oh no.
Elise, I think you might be silenced.
I can't. Well, I can't tell if
There we
you're
go, there
like
we go, there we
doing
go.
a cliff. I can't tell if you're doing like a cliffhanger, like but more after our sponsor thing.
I will do
not.
that
Okay.
right now, but more. We'll talk about that more after a word from our sponsors. The Funhaus podcast is brought to you by Expressvpn. When you use the bathroom, you close the door behind you, right? Of course you do. You don't want random passers-by looking in on you, so why would you let people look in on you when you go online, huh? Using the internet without Expressvpn is like going to the bathroom and not shutting the door behind you. Did you know that your internet service provider, whether that is Comcast, Verizon, whatever it might be, they know every single website you visit, even those ones, yeah. And what's worse is they can sell this information to ad companies and tech giants who will use your data to target you. That's really annoying. That's one of the reasons you get those ads. You look up something stupid, you make one wrong click, and then you're getting those ads for that product for the rest of your life. ExpressVPN puts a stop to this. It creates a secure, encrypted tunnel between your device and the internet so that your online activity cannot be seen by anyone. I use ExpressVPN on all my devices. I got it on my phone, my laptop, my PC. I love it. And you can even put it on routers. So if you have a bunch of people coming over, you don't know what sites they're visiting. They're going through the VPN too. The best part is, using ExpressVPN, it's as easy as closing the bathroom door. You don't need to be a tech expert to use this. It's an app. You open it up. There's a big button in the middle of the screen. You push that button. Boom. You're using the VPN. ExpressVPN is the world's #1 rated VPN by TechRadar, Wired, The Verge, and countless others. So if you're like me and you believe that your online activity is your business, secure yourself by visiting expressvpn.com/dude today. Use my exclusive link, expressvpn.com/dude. Get an extra 3 months free. That's expressvpn.com/dude. The Funhaus podcast is brought to you by Squarespace. Squarespace has everything you need to start an awesome website for you, for your business, whatever you're doing. They got analytics. They got tools. You can start an online store. Start your own website. It's the all-in-one platform to build an online presence, a beautiful online presence at that, and to start your own business. So I reached out. I talked to Omar, my man Omar, about Squarespace because he has used it in the past to build websites. He told me it was great, super easy to use, and that he still recommends it when people ask him, if they're trying to make a website. Omar's a smart guy. A lot of people are coming to him for advice on these things. And Squarespace is the service that he recommends to friends and family when they want to create their own website. There's a ton of cool product features that come with Squarespace. So you got connected social media accounts, super easy to put in your Twitter, whatever you have, and it'll show up on your feed in Squarespace. Just one place, all of it shows up right there in one place. Maybe you're a blogger. They got great blogging and commenting features. They got a fully integrated commenting system. You got threaded comments, replies, and likes. You can use their powerful blogging tools to categorize, share, and schedule your posts as well. And finally, mobile optimized websites. I don't know if you've ever seen a website that is not optimized for mobile. It's terrible. It's unusable. However, Squarespace optimizes all their websites for mobile. So you're not going to have any weird shapes and formatting issues here. It's just no matter what you're on, it looks great. Content automatically adjusts so your site looks great on any device. So right now, if you're thinking about trying out Squarespace, go to squarespace.com for a free trial. Free. And then when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/dudesoup. You can save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. 10% off. It's pretty good. So one last time, go to squarespace.com/dudesoup for 10% off. your first purchase of a website or domain. Thank you, Squarespace, for sponsoring today's show. Yeah, so the Lord of the Rings show, which is, I think, the most expensive rights acquisition ever or something, right? That Amazon is making.
It is.
Based in the Second Age, of course. They fired one of their actors, Tom Budge, who
They fire or did he just leave?
pretty sure he got fired.
Tom Budge is.
He got fired. He got fired because I'll read his statement, but he definitely was let go.
Yeah, they found shrimp tails in his trailer.
That's right. Yeah. So basically, he posted, "Hello, loves." I assume he's British, right? Probably.
Got it.
Hello, loves. It is with great sadness that I'm writing to tell you I have departed Amazon's Lord of the Rings television series. After recently seeing the first episode shot over the last year, Amazon has decided to go in another direction with the character I was portraying. I must thank the creative team for their encouragement towards trying something that I believed was new, exciting, and beautiful. And I sincerely thank the extraordinary cast and crew for their love, support, and friendship over what has been a very difficult and unusual experience. Alas, some things just cannot be. Destiny, my mother, I thank thee.
First of all, what was that video that caption was under?
I don't know. It was like a Johnny Cash video
it
or
was-
something.
was
I don't know. I'm not sure. Weird. It's odd. Yourself to be.
In the ring of the Lord of the Rings of Fire.
But yeah,
What
so
I- What I had
ahead.
originally read was that he did not agree with the creative, and he was like, "I'm out."
How bad can it be to walk away from such a big property, though?
I don't think he walked away. I think maybe they had creative differences, and that was the reason for them telling him maybe get out of here. But I mean, he says they decided to go in another direction, right? I mean, I think that means they let him go.
As every person who loves to espouse Lord of the Rings facts knows, we all know that Viggo Mortensen was not the first choice for Aragorn, and
That's right.
what's his face, Stuart Townsend, shot for 3 weeks or whatever as Aragorn, and then they were like, "This just isn't working. He's too young or whatever." And actually, Dominic Monaghan did a interview recently where he was like, it was really unceremonious when he left. We didn't even really get to say goodbye to him just because of the way how grueling filming was, and we weren't all together. So he just kind of disappeared one day, and that was it. And I feel so bad for him.
I don't think Ian McKellen
Pete
was the
Best
first
of Lord of the
choice
Rings.
either. I think he was the first I think he was cast, they didn't have to reshoot, but I don't think he was the first choice. This isn't that unusual for TV, because pretty much if you go back and watch old TV shows, a lot of times the first episode will be called the pilot or whatever, but there's usually a pilot before that too of some kind, where it's totally different actors, or one or two actors are the same, but and the characters might be all the same, but there's just some other person playing. It's not that uncommon for TV to recast after a pilot, I think.
Yeah,
But
this has a giant magnifying glass on it.
right. And it's also they also lost, wasn't Will Poulter supposed to be in this too? And he quit
yeah.
or got
That was a
laid
long
off,
time ago,
fired
right?
or something.
Who's
Yeah, he hasn't been involved for a long time, I think, but
He's the guy from Midsummer that is kind of the comic relief, snarky guy.
Yep.
I know him from something else. The Maze Runner. No,
Yeah,
I just
of course.
I recognize him from something I watched recently.
But yeah, they are reshooting, I think, the first couple episodes, I want to say, which I don't know how much of the show has been shot. They haven't had a ton of info about it, really. But yeah, I think they're doing some reshoots, but they also already ordered a second season, which makes sense because of how much they paid for it.
For sure.
Yeah.
Are you excited about this? Are you ready for this?
Curious, interested,
Yeah.
hopeful, I think.
Yeah.
But I do think it's I'm not necessarily someone that's just enthralled by the world of Lord of the Rings. For me, it's really just that trilogy that I'm like, this hits so many perfect notes.
You didn't like Desolation of Smaug?
Smaug? I even
Those are so
watched
bad.
the
Five Armies Under the Mountain or fucking whatever.
fucking whatever. I even watched like is it Maple Road or whatever that did the 4-hour recut of the Hobbit trilogy.
Yeah.
Even that, I'm like, it's still not good enough.
No, yeah.
So
I'm all in on Lord of the Rings lore
Wow.
and shit. I've read pretty much everything. I love the
Silmarillion?
Silmarillion. Fuck yeah, I love the Silmarillion's great.
Cimmerillionaire?
Yeah.
They hate it.
So I'm excited about it, but at the same time, it's kind of like, I know that most of what they're doing is going to be like, it's not really an adaptation. It's all pretty much stuff they're writing for the show.
Yeah.
So, because I don't think the second age is like the most fleshed out of the whole like Tolkien timeline. Like there's plenty, but the first age and the third age is like, but there's also all these weird rights issues with it, I know, where they can't feature, I think it's like they have the rights to unfinished tales, or they have the rights to like certain letters and papers, but not to anything Lord of the Rings. So they can't like, I don't think like they could include Gandalf or something unless he was also in the other. But there's like a bunch of
Ratigan in there.
Radagast.
Is the series? Do you think the series is going to end with like the war with Sauron?
Yeah, I mean that would make sense, right?
Yeah.
Because that's like the end of the second age. But I don't know if they're like, I also don't know how tied in it's supposed to be with the movies, or if it's supposed to be its own thing, or like if it's because I guess like no matter what it'll get comparisons, and I doubt it's gonna like totally contradict anything. But yeah, I don't know, like are they trying to connect the two, or legally can they even do that? Probably not.
They could probably hint at it. Like,
Yeah.
Remember the early Marvel shows? Where it was like,
Yeah.
and it's like, well said, Mr. Fist, Mr. Iron Fist. I don't know. I just love the whole, like, Peter Jackson is like so good in that trilogy at blending in like the perfect amount of cheese. Like it's not all serious prestige drama, which is kind of what television does like a lot of the time now. And so I don't know, just like the music and like the perfect blend of like silly characters and like charm, and it's not grueling really. Like there's grueling characters and scenes, but like overall, so I'm like,
There's fun.
What's that?
They're fun moments.
They're
and levity.
so fun, yeah. And when meat's back on the menu, boys, wow.
It's also it is kind of crazy that like it's the only way you can talk about fantasy stuff is relating it to Lord of the Rings, because even if it's like trying to go, it's either so heavily influenced by it that you're like, I'd just rather read Lord of the Rings again or watch it or whatever, or it's trying so hard to not be Lord of the Rings that you're like, I see what you're doing.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
But the reason
Randolph.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, Bodo.
The charm of it, and I hope this carries through, because this is where fantasy stuff, and I think it's why I generally don't, even though Lord of the Rings is one of my favorite things ever, fantasy in general is kind of like not something I'm super drawn to as like a...
You're a realist.
Yeah, I only like real things. No, I like sci-fi a lot, and I like some fantasy, but it's just, fantasy doesn't scratch the same itch for me usually. But the thing I hope they avoid is Lord of the Rings is so good at not doing any of the like prophecy shit. There's no chosen ones. There's no prophecies. The whole thing is just about like very ordinary, simple people having to go through hell just on the good of their own hearts. And I hope that carries through in some way, because I really hope it doesn't just end up being like, this is the chosen sword.
The child.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh,
Yeah,
what if it has
I
Baby
guess
Yoda in it?
things get a little bit like glorified, like Isildur's blade and stuff like that, you know, but not to the extent of what, like, I totally agree with what you're saying, like where it's not just like a Harry Potter, like
no Rey or Luke Skywalker. Rey Skywalker, I should
like
say.
the sword is important, and they say that Sauron will remember it, but they're not like with this blade, the only sword
and
which
only
can
this
pierce
blade,
him or something, you know. So, I mean, there's a little bit of that in The Hobbit, I guess. That one arrow is kind of the only thing whatever. That doesn't matter. That doesn't count.
No man can kill.
I am no man.
Yeah.
I guess that counts,
But also, you know, Steppenwolf said, the Amazon is mine. And then Wonder Woman said, I belong to no one.
And
I said...
Yeah, and Steppenwolf did also say... You stood up.
I stood up in my living room and I clapped.
Yes.
I clapped.
And
Steppenwolf
did also say, and you don't know, girl, what's inside. Why don't you come with me,
man to the bone? Don't they sing
on a magic carpet ride? Ooh!
It was an unfortunate section of dialogue. I do like Wonder Woman a lot.
The movies?
Unfortunate. I like the first Wonder Woman a lot.
Okay. Did you like Justice League, the new one? Did you watch it?
You'll have to watch Funhaus this week to find out.
I asked if we could talk about that, but I figured Funhaus was going to talk about it, so I didn't want to step on any toes. Because they get really mad.
Irate.
It's
Daniel,
a rowdy bunch over at the film
house. Filmhouse.
Yeah.
I don't know. I hope it's good.
Theta, Iota, Lambda, Mu house.
If it isn't good, like, Peter Jackson owes us 3 more movies.
Oh no!
Oh no!
It might kill him.
I can't. They'll be so bad.
I wonder if they'll be writing those while they shoot them this time too.
They better be.
But yeah, reshoots, all that. They're gonna change the story a little bit. It sounds like too, but that's kind of all I got.
There's something else that came out in the last few years that was like beset by reshoots and like pickups and stuff, and it turned out super well. No, something that like
Sonic.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Yeah, it was Sonic. Okay.
Rogue One.
Okay, it was Sonic. Rogue One. That's what I was thinking of.
That's what I said. Star Wars, and you're like, no.
Rogue One isn't a Star Wars movie.
Oh, it has Star Wars in the title.
I don't think so.
It's a Star Wars story.
You lose this battle, Patrick.
That got reshot, but also the original version kind of sounded cooler.
Well, I think there were survivors in the original version.
What?
At the end of the movie.
Oh, I don't remember that. There's other plot stuff. That sounds cool. I would have liked that a lot more, I think. Yeah. But who knows? I mean, you also don't know how it's going to be executed or if it actually is going to be better. You know, you can read something on paper and it doesn't make it the way it is. Also, Solo, that was... Solo was also reshot.
Suicide Squad, re-edited.
Suicide Squad, a classic.
That turned out
coming
well.
soon, a new cut, I'm sure. Anyway, we got some stuff coming up on Funhaus this week. That's enough. Well, I'll say goodbye in a minute, but let's just get through the Hitman 3, Episode 6 with Chilled Chaos. Elise, you're in that, right?
No.
You're not?
Have you watched any of them?
What? Yeah, I thought I watched the first one, but I must have watched something else.
Oh, I forgot about this. Patrick is always getting you and Lindsay confused.
Sometimes I might like peek in and be like, James, we got to go to the store. Somebody ate the cookies.
Right, yeah. That's
other than that,
this ship again.
I'm not in this series.
Fuck. Well, now I look like
it's a good
jackass.
One. It's a great series.
It is.
The newest episode is so funny.
We got GTA Heist Part 6 finale. All the Part 6s.
I'm going to be in that. I'm
all
also...
the Part 6s.
Patrick is in that. I knew that.
I'm also editing it. No, you didn't know that. You didn't know that. You thought that you were in it.
I did.
Yeah.
You're both in Bored as Hell, right?
That's just you, Charlotte.
No.
Oh, that's just me?
That's just you.
Yeah, you're thinking of yourself.
I'm always thinking of myself.
And then I'm excited for Star Wars Bounty Hunter.
Yes.
I'm very excited about that. Mm-hmm. That's coming out next week, too.
What a week.
What a week. What a life we
Patrick,
live.
this was delightful.
I had
thank
so much
you.
fun talking about shrimp with you guys.
Shrimp
same.
and Lord of the Rings. What are you doing this weekend? Do you want to
get
go
any
get some
better.
shrimp? You going to get shrimp or what? What's up?
We getting shrimp? We getting a whole shrimp?
Well, that's about all the time we have, everybody.
It is, yeah. What a mess.
Thanks for
screwed
watching
it
and for
all up.
listening. No, Patrick, it was great.
No, you did great. You did a great job, and we're proud
You
of
hit
you.
every shrimp beat.
I did.
We needed to talk
I hit the
about.
shrimp
You
beats,
yelled
hit
at,
the
you
ad beats for
scolded me for singing the Hobbit theme.
Well, I couldn't hear it because I would just hear every once in a while.
No,
Charlotte, you
the
want-
first time. What's that?
You want to play us out? You want to play us out?
Oh yeah.
love to.
Give us a little something.
It'll show up on audition, but just nod your heads like you can hear it over the call.
Yeah,
Okay.
I will.
All right. And Cody, take us out as she's playing.
Hope we don't get flagged for this.
I'm not too worried about it. I hope we
it's
don't get
almost like
flagged for this image.